Okay. So today we are doing lesson 6, solve inequalities by addition or subtraction. There is no difference of how we are going to solve during addition and subtraction like we did in the previous lessons, okay? So it is almost the same thing, only that here we are doing inequalities. On the previous lessons we were doing equations, okay? All right, so let's know what is important that we need to know for us to be successful. You need to know the types of inequalities. There is 4 of them. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay? Now, when do we use inequalities? When we want to compare. When you're comparing, when you're saying 6 is less than 7 or 8 is greater than 6. This way you're comparing, okay? Now, other words that means less than, fewer than. Less than and fewer than means this sign, this inequality. Other words that mean greater than, exceed, or is more than. Okay? Less than or equal to. When you see the word at most, you do the opposite. It means less than. At most means you can only use up to this number. So that means you can use, if I say the temperature today was at most, the temperature today was at most 8 degrees. That means this was the highest number. So I need all the numbers less than 8 going this way. I have to stop at 8 and go this way because the highest number has to be 8. That's what at most means. And then another word for greater than or equal to is at least. Remember, at least and at most, the equal to sign has to be there. So greater than or equal to means at least. At least means you start at this number and go. So this is the smallest number. And this is the greatest number. So smallest number, that means your numbers are increasing. If this is the greatest number, this means this number is decreasing. These values are decreasing. Okay? At least. That's what that means. Okay? All right, we continue. In this lesson, we are going to add more properties. Subtraction property of inequality. It is where you subtract the same number or the same value on both sides of the inequality. So how do I write this? A minus C. It doesn't matter. You choose whichever one. Equals to B minus C, like that. You subtract the same number on both sides. Here, you add the same number on both sides. Addition property of equality. Okay? So, you can use greater than, or this can change to be less than, okay? Or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So it doesn't matter which inequality you put over here when you're explaining the type of inequality we are using. Okay? Now let's do examples. So now you'll be required also to know how to read and write an inequality. All right. So we're going to do at least 4 examples. We're going to graph. Okay? So we will solve and graph. So the question says solve and graph these inequalities. All right, so we do m plus 7 is less than or equal to 15. So I am solving. I will draw my bridge. I will subtract 7 on the left and 7 on the right. This becomes 0 because of additive inverse. M 15 minus 7, that should be 8. And this is your solution. Okay? Then we need to check and we do m plus 7 less than or equal to 15. M is 8. 8 plus 7 is less than or equal to 15. 15 equals to 15. Okay, let's do one where there is no equal to sign. So let's do n minus 8 is greater than 12. So we draw our bridge. We will add 8 on the left and on the right. This becomes 0. N is this, and this is 20. Now, so we do our work. So that means we cannot use 20. Even this is our solution. When checking, we can't use 20 because n has to be greater than 20. So we will choose 21. Because the question says n has to be greater than 20. That means you cannot use 20. You have to use 21. Let's check. You can use any number greater than 20. 21, 22, 100, 1000, 1005. It doesn't matter. As long as the number is greater than 20. So, n minus 8 is greater than 12. 21 minus 8 is greater than 12. 21 minus 8 should be 13. See? And 13 is greater than 12. So that's how I know I am correct. So 1, you have to know how to read the inequality. 2, when it comes to this one, you choose the other number, the number greater. Okay? All right. We need to graph. So, in this question, because the question says we need to graph. So you will draw your number line. You will go to 8. You will draw a circle. It will be closed. That means it will be shaded inside here because of the equal to sign. And because this arrow is facing the left, I will go from my circle to the left, like that. So that is how you graph this one. I need all the numbers less than and equal to 8. Make sure when you color your circle, no white is left. Everything has to go. It has to be all dark. Remember, you color when you have the equal to sign. So let us graph this one. Use your ruler. This is 20. You draw your circle. It will be open because there is no equal sign here. And the arrow is facing to the right. So your line will also go to the right, like that. This arrow should match this arrow. Okay? So I have shown you how to solve. I have shown you how to check. And I have shown you how to graph. Let's do one where we have a fraction and where we have negative numbers. Okay, let's do one. All right. Negative 18 is less than or equal to P minus 11. Let's do that. So, how do I solve this? I draw my bridge. I add 11 on both sides. This becomes 0 because of additive inverse. This is P, and this will be negative 7. Okay? And then I graph. I draw my line. I need negative 7. I know I am going to the right. I will color because I will shade or I will close. Actually, the correct word is close the circle. And then I will go to the right. Please draw with a ruler. I don't need all the other numbers, 6, no, that's wasting too much time. This is enough. The circle has to be at your number, and then the arrow tells you where you're going. All right, then let us do one with a fraction. B plus 3/5 is less than 8, or is less than 10. We will minus 3/5 on both sides, or we will subtract 3/5 on both sides. Additive inverse makes that 0. B is less than, then you do 10 minus 3/5. Okay? And we get what? 47. And then we press SD. 9.4. So okay, you can do it as a decimal or you can do it as a fraction. Then you draw your line. 9.4, the whole number will be 10 here and the whole number will be 9 here. Okay? 9.4 is between 9 and 10. It is open and I am going to the left. You can change your fraction to decimal because it is easier for you to graph. But even if the question tells you to do it as a fraction, you should know where your fraction lies